So actually, I want to get started to ask a simple question to everyone. Basically, is what does GameDev.tv mean to you?
Yeah, you know what? At the start of us creating courses, I think it means trying to create the best possible education for people, enabling their dreams. We know a lot of people in our community who have a hobby. They love game development. They love talking about it, thinking about it. And so we're part of that process. But for me, as time has gone on, when I think of Game Dev TV, I think of the community. I think of the tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people who help each other, support each other, talk to each other, and all part of that same dream of just loving to work on their hobby, which is game development.
Beautiful.
Very good answer. Got a tear to my eye.
Thanks.
Right.
I had that one written down.
He was ready.
Got a few more written down here.
Kevin slipped you one bit.
Yeah.
I did.
Oh, he gave me the questions beforehand. I'm cheating here.
Lucy, you want to go next?
Yeah, mine's the same. Just the community and how supportive everyone is. It always is such a nice place to come to work and show up and just see everyone being so supportive and encouraging and positive and doing the things that they love. And then the guys that I work with as well, but mainly the community.
Mainly the community.
Mainly the guys you work with, right?
Quickly,
community. Sorry.
Quickly brushing that off. Yeah.
I like how you do work, Lucy. Was that a
when I show up for work?
Coming to work with these professionals.
It's just too much fun. That's why it's work.
Exactly. That's when you're having this much fun, it can't be work.
Exactly.
That's what she meant, of course.
Sam, how about you?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously, all of the above. I think I think it's just a fantastic and unique learning community I've not experienced elsewhere, and it's just I'm continually surprised by the level of support that everyone gives each other in the community, and just the dedications going above and beyond. Both in giving support to other people as well as the work that one's doing on their own learning. So, the extensions people do to their projects or the courses, the way they go beyond. So I'm constantly impressed by the community and the work that the community is producing.
Beautiful. And now, Ben, how do you feel about GameDev.tv? What are your thoughts on it? And what does it mean to you?
Similar. A very dedicated and just decent bunch of people. I mean, just everybody, community and people. You guys are all just it's surprising to get so many good people together in one place. If we have an AMA, we don't even get trolls very often. I shouldn't have said that. Now, next time you're going to
Thanks, Ben.
loaded with them. But I'm just amazed by how a good bunch of people they are. I think they must be trying to compensate for something. It's great.
Maybe. Now, I'm curious, and I'm pretty sure the community is curious, what drives you guys to do this GameDev.tv? Why do you guys instruct or do community work? And any of you can take the initiative to go first.
Well, I think I'll go first. I think the thing is it's fun to build games. I think everyone here would probably agree. And it's also just, I think it's really interesting to be able to dig in a little bit deeper than you would if you're doing something commercially. For example, it's often just rushing to a deadline. You're trying to get a project complete. Whereas when you're creating a course, you can really take some time to dig in and think about how to do it in a way, think about the best way of doing things, think about the best practices, and do it in a way where you can care a lot more about the craftsmanship of what you're doing along the way. So because you are showing the process, and that's the important part of what you're doing, so you can spend a lot more time on that with because none of it's hidden away. In a game, the end result is as long as it plays well, it's good. No one's going snooping behind the scenes, and I think it's fun to be able to do that. It's fun to be able to take that level of care and attention over things.
Who wants to go next? Lucy?
Yeah, I'd agree. It's nice to be able to be in a place where we can experiment with different things and be so in touch with the community that when we hear feedback from them, that we're able to actually take that on board and action it, and change the way we've done a course or the way we're rolling something out, or and to be that connected, then you can feel really proud about what you're doing, because you can keep iterating on it until we get it. You know, we hear good stuff back, and then you're like, yeah, they're really loving it. This is really hit the nail, and that feels really nice. That's proper job satisfaction when you get that. And the stories the community share, when we get those stories of, you know, you helped me achieve this, or get this job, or make this game, or, you know, that just, it properly, you know, everybody around the team just has big smiles on their faces for the whole day when we get stories like that. So that's really amazing.
Anyone can't get enough of the Twitter posts and all the like the funny GIFs and memes you post. Brings a lot of joy and fun to the community. Rick, you're next.
I don't know if you see me keep sliding down the screen, but my main goal, being part of this whole process, is to get enough money to buy a new chair. This chair is like slowly, something about the hydraulics, it keeps leaking, but it's random. It's on an intermittent schedule, so every now and again it's like, boop, I just drop down. So yeah, driving me crazy. But anyway, soon we'll run another Kickstarter. Like, let's get Rick a chair.
Just for Rick's chair.
But in terms one kick-ass chair.
Yeah. Anyone got a spare chair? Send it to Australia. Rick at Australia. In terms of the content itself, when I was a young lad, there was no avenue for me to get into game development. There was no such thing as a game designer, which is what I desired to be. There was no way of easily learning an engine, because engines kind of weren't really around. It was very difficult to learn code. So I ran up against this huge wall when I was very excited about game development. There was no resources for me to actually get stuck into it. And so I want to make sure that's not the case for young or old folks out there who are interested in it, but a little bit apprehensive, a bit scared, a little bit, if they look at YouTube, there's just a mountain of stuff. Where do I start and who do I trust? So looking right from the very start of the beginner, saying I'm really excited about this, but I'm a little bit scared, particularly the programming side of things, and giving them the easy flow so they can go from interested and apprehensive to creating something that they can look at proudly and say, I made this. Not necessarily that they're going to go sell it and put it out, publish it just yet, but they can proudly look at it and say, I did the thing that I've always wanted to do. And I've moved from being a consumer of video games to being a creator of video games. I think there's something really powerful in all of our lives when we look at something we consume and we also participate in the creation of that, not just the consumption of it.
Yeah, it makes you appreciate it more.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually enjoying not being at the coalface of the production of the courses now, from the standpoint of how much I enjoy video games these days. I'm enjoying them more now. Again, I went through a lull where when I was sitting there coding them day to day, I didn't enjoy them quite as much, strangely. Wow. Because I just couldn't stop myself from kind of ripping them apart in my head and trying to work out what they involved, which was so I'm quite enjoying, now that I work on the business rather than on building video games, I'm enjoying video games more. So it's just reminded me that, I've loved video games since I was a tiny kid, and I still love them. So it's great. It's just great to, I'm looking forward to the day when I sit down with the family and play and enjoy a game that we discover was created by, our students, when it's going to take a few years to filter through the pipeline. But I'm looking forward to that day when we can say, yeah, these are our students that we helped or had some part in helping.